Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tubi something. To be determined. That's what we're going with today. And today, checked out the 2002 horror movie, Holy Terror. What a movie, what a time. 54-minute runtime, that's where we're at. That's what I like to see in a movie. Holy Terror. What the hell is this shit called? Holy Terror. Directed by one Massimiliano, oh Jesus, that's not right. Massimiliano Cerchi. I definitely didn't say that right. I apologize. So Holy Terror opens with a woman. She appears to be in some sort of gastrointestinal pain. I could immediately relate. I had gallstones at one point, had my gallbladder removed, but if I eat fried foods, man, so much pain in my stomach. And so you gotta avoid those fried foods, is what I'm saying. Like, just even if you don't have gall problems, because it's just not healthy for you. Occasionally you can snack or whatever, that's fine. We're gonna keep going. So she calls a priest in to help with her gastrointestinal pain. He is unable to do so. We get intermixed shots of clouds and then some death metal joins in with some blast beats. Very interesting way to open your movie. So there's a lot going on here. And then the lady, she fucking morphs into she looks like my mother-in-law. And then they immediately cue up the goddamn credits, and I was like, hell yeah, we are in it. And listen to this music during the intro credits. That timing is off, right? It doesn't sound good. It sounds off. So the credits go on for a little while, and then we get introduced to one of our main characters, the badass. How do I know he's a badass? Because he's sitting inside, in his chair, sunglasses on. Who does that? Badasses do that. That's right, fucking badass. Then it cuts to like a very slightly different angle, I assume for artistic purposes. It's like 3 degrees difference, but from a story standpoint, I think it really enhances everything going on here. So then the realtor guy hangs up the phone and you hear this really low noise. I thought it was a fart at first. I'm not even kidding. It's like this weird, I don't know what I'm going for with this. I don't know why I'm making this hand thing. I don't know. So then the realtor enters this household. He turns, and on the stairs is the demon mother-in-law, just kind of hanging out, standing there. Then she casts some sort of lens flares, force thing on his dick, and he's like, oh my fucking dick! And he's just laying on the ground in pain. And doing so, in conjuring this lens flare dick pain, blast beats in the background start. So the realtor guy gets up, says he's gonna find somebody to live in this house. I don't think the viewer's supposed to know either, but he makes some sort of deal with her. He leaves the house, and then he comes back, which I thought was a different house, but apparently it's the exact same house and time has passed. But you can't really tell that because just the unbelievably bad filmmaking that's happening is just making it difficult. I'm just gonna say it. I'm being honest, and I'm sorry I'm sorry. So when he comes back to the house, this time there's a priest standing by the closet, just kind of exercising. Not like exercising, but whatever religious people. That's actually kind of funny. If I was a priest, and I would go to the gym and I'd be like, "What are you doing?" "Well, I'm exercising the demons." Get it? Because he's on the elliptical, like the priest is on the elliptical, and he's like, "I'm exercising some demons." It's pretty funny, come on. So the real estate guy, he don't want anything to do with this shit. He throws the old priest out. And I've had experiences like this before, not with throwing old priests out of my house, but the one time I got a knock on my door. And there was this old lady, and she looked so friendly and nice. And I went out, and I was like, oh yeah. Because where we live, I'm in front of a busy intersection, and a lot of times people come to the house if their car breaks down or something. So I was like, "Oh, you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And she was really friendly. And then she pulled out this goddamn Jehovah's Witness pamphlet. I was like, "You got me." So then I pushed her down, and then, no, I didn't actually do that. I don't know why I said all that. Why was I telling you that? So then the guy leaves again and enters the house again and talks to the old mother-in-law and says he's got new people moving into the house. So we're literally 6 minutes into this movie and this dude has walked into this front door of this house 3 or 4 times and almost the exact same shot within 6 minutes. That's efficient filmmaking, or it's terrible filmmaking. Maybe both. So now the young couple is moving in. They made the deal with the realtor, and as soon as they make that deal, the first thing they're going to do is have some dirty sex. But don't feel bad, viewers. You get to participate too, in a way. I'll say that, in a way. Orally, and I don't mean like, I don't know if I'm saying the word right. Like with your orally, I don't know how you, I think it's, you say it the same way, but your ears are stimulated throughout this entire sequence as there's just metal blast beats just destroying your drums. It's like a fucking guy's in there banging on your eardrum. But then the sex scene continues, and it continues, and it continues. And I would be more on board if they were like, I don't know, good at it, but they're boring lovers. Like, they're fucking boring. They just kind of lay there. And so while they're just lazily having sex, I ran some numbers. I crunched some numbers, as one does during the lovemaking. So this scene where they're having sex and she's naked runs for 2 minutes and 33 seconds. The movie's runtime is 54 minutes and 53 seconds. And by my calculations, don't listen to me because I'm terrible at math, 4.6%, nearly 5% of this movie is in this one love scene. This is 5% of the movie. Them laying there, groaning in ecstasy. And just as the scene comes to a climax, the girlfriend morphs into the demonic mother-in-law and begins choking the guy. And I will admit, something a little more interesting was going on during that scene. But it turns out it was just a dream, just a nightmare, or fantasy. Who's to say, really? He talks to his girlfriend. He says,
I think I was screwing a witch or something.
Or a nun. He's not sure. And she says,
you're sick. Fantasizing about nuns? Really dated.
And you know what I would say to her? I would say, well, that's none of your business. You got it, because none. Then all of a sudden, our lead actress is wandering around the desert in her underwear. And I do feel the need to warn you guys, but I don't think she's wearing any sunscreen. There's a cult there hanging out in the desert, wearing their little cult robe things. It's starting to kind of feel like Phantasm, but definitely more pervy. What is pervy and rhymes with phantasm? Orgasm. Then the demonic mother-in-law shows up, and now she wakes up again. This was just another nightmare. Whew. None of this was real. And then, as one does when they get up, she immediately, centered in the frame, takes her bra off. I don't know. Normally I wouldn't care about the naked people. Like, I don't know, it's always fun. But in this kind of low budget movie, it feels more dirty than anything else and grimy and gross. And every time she's taking her clothes off, I'm like, you should probably put your clothes back on and get the fuck out of this fucking movie. Finally, we learned something interesting. So far, not much story being developed. We know nothing about the characters. We do know about the demonic mother-in-law, but they saved this little surprise. Out of nowhere, these fuckers got a pool. A pool! I have a pretty big yard. I would kind of like to have a pool. The problem is like maintaining a pool. And where I live, I'd probably get to use it like 2.5 months out of the year. I just don't think I can justify swinging a pool, guys. I will keep you up to date. If I decide to get a pool, I'll let you know. We'll do a thing. But until then, sorry guys, no pool. I know, no pool. So our main guy, David, I think that's his name, I don't fucking know, says he's gonna go to the grocery store, pick up some groceries because he's got some friends coming over later. And so she decides to get a shower. because it's been about, I don't know, 45 seconds since she's been naked in this movie. So we need another, how long is this goddamn shower scene? Oh, so we need a 3-minute long shower scene, which she does, and randomly begins bleeding everywhere during this shower scene. Not quite sure where the blood's coming from, but she is scrubbing with soap and it just keeps coming. Probably should go to a doctor is what I would do. If I like profusely started bleeding from somewhere, you go to the doctor, right? I mean, it would be at least be concerning. You should always go to the doctor if you're concerned. You don't want to wait on things like this, especially if there's just blood dripping from like your head or something. There's probably a good reason for it. So what I'm saying, go to the doctor, get checked out. Worst thing is you go there and they say there's nothing wrong with you. That's actually a good thing. Yeah, you might be a little embarrassed. You're like, I was in the shower and my head just started bleeding everywhere, but now it's not. And the doctor will be like, yeah, sure it was. And you know what? Whatever, I'll take it. Because what if you go to the doctor and they're like, you got a malfunctioning dystrophy, and you're like, oh my God, I got a malfunctioning dystrophy? That can't be good. And it's probably not. I mean, I made it up, but if it was real. So the friends show up. Julie, our main character, says, why don't you guys spend the night? And they're like, yeah. Which, what? I gotta plan that shit out. Maybe I'm old, maybe that's what it is. These guys were kind of old too though. Like they're like, I don't know, late 20s, maybe early 30s. So like, who just is like going over to a friend's house and decides they're just gonna stay there? Like, I would need clothes. Like, I gotta bring anything? What am I gonna sleep on? Like, I don't want to I need a pillow. There's a lot to think about, and it stressed me out, I guess. So she's gonna make room for them and opens up a drawer where they can store all their stuff, even though they didn't bring anything because they weren't planning on staying over. So I don't know what they're going in the drawer for, but it doesn't matter because it leads to her freaking out because she thinks she sees a severed arm or something. We don't actually see it, the viewer of the movie. We just get it all relayed to us with her incredible acting. And in hindsight, kind of a pointless scene. But honestly, you can kind of argue that about most scenes in this movie. So I don't know.
When I opened the drawer, I thought I saw something like an arm.
An arm?
Yeah, and you know, earlier tonight when I was taking a shower, I was covered in blood.
God, that's awful.
I think I'm like going a little...
They start doing a little Ouija action. Have you ever done a Ouija board? I've never really done it. Guess I'm missing out on a lot of fucking things. No pool, no Ouija action. God, my life sucks. The Ouija party turns into what we call a sweet-ass dance party. Everybody's dancing. Ouija board sitting under the couch, sad, didn't get to participate in the dancing. It's okay. Then, the realtor guy shows up at the front door, still wearing those goddamn sunglasses. Now, it's nighttime, and he's inside, and he's still wearing sunglasses. That's gotta damage your eyes, right? Like the lack of brightness sometimes. Like if you would, he's gonna turn into like a nocturnal creature. Like he's gonna go out into the sun sometime, and he's gonna take the glasses off, and he's gonna be like, my fucking eyes. You gotta do everything in moderation. That's the key. Do things in moderation. You like drinking? Drink in moderation. Don't overdo it. Same thing, smoking. You can do it with anything needs moderation. Wearing your sunglasses at night or inside. It's okay once in a while, but dude, all the time? You won't be able to handle the sun. Naturally, you just won't be able to handle it. That's not good. Believe me, I don't know a goddamn thing. All these young, attractive women, one by one, begin hitting on this like 60-year-old realtor guy who wears sunglasses inside. Is this the director of the movie? Or like a producer or something who's like, I'll give you $15,000 to make your movie if I get to make out with all the young ladies. Like that's how I envisioned it. Now I could be completely off the wall. Maybe this is just a great actor who, you know, this storyline demands that a whole bunch of young, attractive 25-year-old women would obviously throw themselves at a 60-year-old realtor who wears sunglasses inside. Seems logical to me. So the realtor goes outside, one of the young women follows him, they start a little action, if you know what I'm saying. So she gets in the pool, starts swimming around, and then oh my fucking god, the mother-in-law demon thing shows up and starts drowning her. But the realtor's now gone. He's back in the kitchen. And what do you know? another young woman starts hitting on him.
Drink.
Like this?
I'd love to.
Now we cut to a scene where everybody's kind of featured in this wide shot, and our lead actress is no longer with her boyfriend. She's with another man, and he's with another woman, and I just realized they're fucking swingers. That makes sense. I've never swang, I don't know what you call it. The past tense of swinging. Swinging, I guess, is what you would call it. But I always thought like only ugly people are swingers, right? Because attractive, normal people probably aren't doing this stuff outside of like pornography or whatever. But maybe it's just me. Maybe because I was never invited to a cool swingers party. Don't have a pool. Never played Ouija before. Don't get invited to swingers parties. Whatever, guys. I didn't want to do anything cool, I guess. 3909. Movie transitions and we get a secret frame. Let's take a look. Yep. That had to be intentional, I'm sure. Makes sense to the storyline. Good stuff, guys. So then the realtor guy goes back out to the pool for a second time. First girl drowned there, she's gone. Now the third young attractive woman begins hitting on him, kissing him, and takes her shirt off. And he does what he does and knocks her the fuck out. I don't know why at this point. I don't know what's happening. I guess I don't care though. So we'll just keep going. Maybe it'll all make sense. I assume by the end this is gonna make sense. So we're gonna check back in with our couple, Julie and David. Julie is making out with this other guy, Mark, on the couch while David's just kind of sitting there watching. Is that cuckolding? Cuckolding? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Man, I need to get on the internet more. Cuckolds, cuckolding, chickens? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I think that's what they're doing. But then they get into an argument because Mark, the one who's watching his girlfriend make out with another guy, mentioned something about another woman. So then Julie, the one making out with this other dude, gets mad because he's thinking of another woman while she's making out with another guy. This is why I don't swung. I don't know, this is just, it's too complicated. There's too many layers. Emotions are running high. I get it, but it's just too much for me. I'm not cut out for it, okay? I tried it, I didn't, but I just can't do it. I'm sorry. But I'll still try it. I'll try.
I can't believe you, David. You sit there and you watch me with Mark, and the only thing that you can think about is, where's Cindy? You're a real bastard.
We're getting down to the wire, guys. 8 minutes left in the movie. What do we got time for? Another sex scene. Let's throw it in there. We got another sex scene, but this one's a little bit different, okay? This one, no nudity. Lots of man groaning. It's just a lot of, I mean, that's not really what a pleasure groan. I don't know. It's just groaning noises and the guy reacting. And then the guy who's moaning in pleasure turns into the old demonic mother-in-law. And I don't know how, and she ends up killing the woman that is now having sex with her, I guess. Then our main character, Daniel, walks into his bedroom, and Julie, the main woman, is topless and dead in the bed. What? I feel like we're missing scenes. Maybe this movie is only 54 minutes because there's 25 minutes that somehow randomly got chopped off to put this thing on Tubi or something. I don't understand what happened. They were just arguing in the living room. Then all of a sudden these other two people are having sex. And then all of a sudden Julie, our main character, is dead in the bed and Mark is in there like, what the fuck happened? And I'm like, I don't fucking know, Mark or Daniel or what the fuck people's names are. The old lady, mother-in-law demon shows up though. She bites him, I think. She does something to him. Some cool Castlevania like music plays in the background. So that's probably like the coolest part of the movie is that like 15 seconds of Castlevania sounding music in the background. That's something. Then we get the exciting conclusion. The realtor guy, still wearing his sunglasses, driving down the darkened streets with that woman he knocked out at the pool. She wakes up and asks if she's being kidnapped, and he says, no, you're being rescued. He says something like, 5 years ago, something happened. And then you're like, oh, really? You're going to explain what? And then before he can tell his story, cue the thrash metal. Roll the goddamn credits.
It's a long story.
started about 5 years ago.
So, just to recap. Lady gets choked at the beginning. Lady at the beginning turns into demonic mother-in-law. Realtor guy brings his couple, shows up at the party, knocks a woman out, doesn't kidnap her. Gonna tell her a story about 5 years ago. Roll the credits. That's all that happened. And lots of pervy scenes. Also, we get 5 minutes of credits in a 54-minute long movie. Alright, I guess. I didn't like this movie. Like I said earlier, it made me feel dirty. Like I needed to hit the showers. And not in a way that the people hit the showers in this movie. I don't know. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Tubi something. What did I say it was? Tubi Determined. Leave some comments below. Like, subscribe, all that crap. And catch you here next time, guys. Goodbye.